So at the beginning of the episode, we can see Trevor the traction engine in Vicarage Orchard. Just then, James arrived, and here we can spot our first goof. The red coaches have crooked roofs.
"Hello, Trevor," said James. "You look as bright and cheerful as my red paint." "Oh, I am," replied Trevor. "What's that noise?" asked James. "It's the bees," laughed Trevor. "They're all in these boxy things called beehives. I'm taking them to the station. The vicar says his bees make good honey and is giving some of them to his friends."
Just then, Boko the diesel engine arrived.
"Take care, you two. Don't make the bees angry. They might sting you."
James didn't like being told what to do by a diesel, and he buzzed away. Boko said goodbye to Trevor and set off to see Duck at the next station.
Bill and Ben, the tank engine twins, were busy arranging trucks, but they scampered off when they saw Boko.
I have a question. Bill and Ben are moving, so why is one of them releasing smoke and one of them not? Boko remembered well the time he met Bill and Ben. They nearly made his eyes pop out, but Edward soon put a stop to their games.
Edward is the only one who can keep Bill and Ben in order. James bustled in. "What's that, Duck?" he snorted. "Are you afraid of bees? They're only insects after all, so don't let that buzzbox diesel tell you different." "His name is Boko, and he didn't "I wouldn't care," interrupted James. "If hundreds were swarming around, I'd just blow smoke and make them buzz off." "Buzz, buzz, buzz," retorted Duck.
The next morning, James arrived at the station to collect his coaches. But as James was backing up, he bumped the coaches. Anyway, the passengers were excited and keen to get on board. The platform was crowded and the porter was in a hurry.
"Mind your backs," he shouted. Then there was trouble. The beehive fell and broke open.
Right here I saw something strange. This is Mrs. Kindly, and this is how she looked like in Season 5. What a difference! However, a small scale figure of her Season 5 design was seen amongst the people too.
The station cleared like magic.
But this stop motion scene has some things to talk about. First, some parts of the station have moved by their own. And then the second thing, was this made by the crew on purpose or not? If you were looking closely, one of the passengers fell on the ground, stood up, and then ran away. In the middle of his feet he also had some black sticky tack. James heard a familiar buzzing. The bees were too cold to be cross, so they buzzed around the fireman hoping he'll mend their hive, but he didn't understand. Neither did his driver. But James's roof is white. The bees turned to James's boiler. It was nice and warm.
"Buzz off," hissed James. One bee burnt his foot. "Ooh, ah, phew, phew."
Actually, it burnt two of them.
The bee thought James had burnt him on purpose. So it stung James right back on the nose. "Eee!" whistled James.
He had enough. So had his driver and fireman. They didn't notice till too late that they had left all their coaches behind. They tried everything to get rid of the bees. They spun on the turntable. They tried to wash them off. They even tried smoking them off by going through the tunnel. But the bees wouldn't go away.
"It's no good, James," said his driver. "We'll just have to go back to the orchard and fetch another hive."
James has some black glue on his funnel. The vicar was waiting anxiously for James. When they arrived, the bees swarmed straight into their new home. Later that evening, James was resting in the shed when the vicar came to see him.
"Thank you for saving my bees."
James still has some glue on his funnel.
"It's a pity it's not Christmas, then we could call you James the Red-Nosed Engine."
Everyone laughed, even James, but instead they decided to call James the Bee's Knees, which means they thought he was more useful than ever. So those are all of the goofs found in Season 3 episode Buzz Buzz. I hope you all enjoyed this video, my Train lovers, and I'll see you next time.